Welcome to Flash Tutorial Space Attack Part 3. It's a follow-up to Space Attack Part 2, and that's what I have opened on my computer. Let's open the Actions panel. And right here after these three variables, put a couple enters in and type this code. It's a fair amount. We're going to create another variable, var. It's called write, capital R-I-G-H-T, colon number equals 0 semicolon. Copy it, paste it in, change the word right to left. Now this is going to be moving a laser gun down here back and forwards. So / move laser. I'm spelling laser with a Z. I know it's supposed to be an S, but I'm using a Z. Stage, period, add event listener, small s, small a, capital E, capital L, turns blue. Open bracket, keyboard event, capital key, capital E, turns blue. Period. Key underscore down, all uppercase. Comma, and I'm calling this function keys down, capital key, capital D, close bracket, semicolon. Function. Keys down, you can copy keys down and paste it in. Open bracket, event, event, small e, turns blue, colon, keyboard event, you can copy this keyboard event, paste it in. Close bracket, open curly bracket. That's the open curly bracket for this function. And as you start to type it in, a closed curly bracket will come down here when you finish this section. So there's the open curly bracket. If, open bracket, event period key code, small e, small k, capital C, that turns blue, equals 39, close bracket, that is the right arrow key. That's testing to see if that's been pushed. If it is, open bracket, right, that variable we just made, equals 1, semicolon. There's the closed bracket for this if, and it may have come in automatically. You can copy this and paste it in. This part stays the same. Event key code equals 37, closed bracket. That is the left arrow key. There's an open curly bracket, left equals 1, semicolon, and a closed curly bracket for the if. So there should be two closed curly brackets here. Right here between these two curly brackets, put an enter and type this code. Type. This is very similar. You could copy this line here if you wanted to. If, open bracket, event period key code equals 38 this time, close bracket. 38 is the up arrow key. Open curly bracket for this if. We're going to trace, T-R-A-C-E, that turns blue. Open bracket, quotation, shoot. Close quotation, close bracket, semicolon. So we're going to trace something, shoot, when we press that up arrow. And we're going to make a movie clip called Laser, L-A-Z-E-R, capital L, underscore MC. We're going to say go to and play, small g, small t, capital A, capital P. That turns blue. Open bracket, 2, close bracket, semicolon. And we should still have two closed curly brackets here. So now we got to make that laser. Back to the timeline, select the top layer, insert a layer, call it laser, L-A, and I'm using Z, Z-E-R. Make sure all the layers are locked except that laser layer, select frame 1. And how I'm going to make that layer is I'm going to make it with some circles. I got black here for a stroke, and I got red for a fill. Picking up my oval tool, and I'm going to make a shift and hold it and make an oval. Now I'm going to try something. I'm just going to highlight it, open this palette here, right here. It's called the color palette. If you don't have it here, if you look on the window, you'll see something called color right here. That'll open it for you. Click here. Now this may change when I click it. My colors may change. Radios as in circles. And I want this still to be red. So click here. Double click on it, make this red. Double click on this one, and I'm going to make this one black. So I get that effect. You might like that. Click here. There's something called the free transform tool. Click the corner. Gradient tool. It's the free transform gradient. We want the gradient tool, so press gradient. Highlight this again, and you see that little, I don't know, it's a horn or a funnel there. Let's make it a little bigger. If you just click on that and slightly move it, oops, you move the center of that if you want to do that. Right, that's the first circle. Let's take and pick up my selection, my oval tool again, holding the shift down, making a smaller one. I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to open the that color swatch again. I'm going to make this different. I'm going to make it, I'm going to pick up a blue. So I have blue and black for this one. See this? Blue and black. I'm going to use that gradient tool again here. Click on it, make it bigger. And again, click on that funnel thing, slightly move it. Oh. And that has that effect. So now I'm going to make this smaller. Going to take this one here, highlight it, and put it right here on top. This should need to go a little to the left. You can eyeball this. While it's all fuzzy, right click, I'm going to copy it. Right click, paste it in place. And arrow keys. So now there should be two of them. Okay, so double click on that. Use my arrow keys, drag it down to touch there. Double click on that, arrow keys down here. They should be touching or close to it. That's pretty good. Right click, paste in place. Using my arrow key, I'm going to move it over. Right click, copy this one. Right click, paste in place. Just use my arrow keys, get over a little bit, like that. Copy them both. Right click, copy, paste in place. Drag it over here, put it onto the side. Drag it here, put it on this. Oops. I want both of them. Put them here. I'm just going to get that red one in the middle. Right click, copy. Right click, paste in place. Use my arrow keys. I'm drawing it down here. And while it's highlighted, I'm going to highlight it. Just it, nothing else. Open the properties panel. Make sure this is locked. And instead of 45 here, and when I change one, they'll both change. Because let's make this 30. Oops, 30. 30, enter. And now I can take that. Right click, copy it. Right click, paste it in place. Just move it out of the way for a minute. And then double click on this one, drag it up there. It needs to be to the right a little bit. I'm just eyeballing these. And this one, use my arrow keys. Oops. And I'm happy with that. I'm going to highlight that. Modify. Convert it to a symbol. Make sure movie clip is selected. I'm going to call it laser with a Z, L-A-Z-E-R, shift_MC. Copy that and paste it in for an instance name. This would be a good time to save this. Save as. And it's my bits, and I want this to be part 3. Save. Now that's way, way bigger than what I want. Double click on this movie clip. Double click, click, click. Now I'm inside of it. And I'm gonna, while it's highlighted, I'm opening the properties panel. Make sure that this link is locked. And I want to make this much, much smaller. So where it's a 144 height, I'm going to change that to about 60. Have a look at that. And when I press the enter, both the height and the width are going to change. Ah, that's a lot better. Now I can move this down where I want it, right down here. And go up to line 20, insert a keyframe. So that's my laser. And call this layer laser. L-A-Z-E-R. Lock that layer. Insert a layer. Call it beam. Like as in a light beam. B-E-A-M. Beam. Select the second frame. Insert a blank keyframe. Go over here, straight line tool right there. And I think that is the fill. We'll check the fill for solid red. And let's zoom in on this, 400. And make a straight line here, just about the length of that laser. So obviously it's black, so what I gotta do is change my stroke. So double click on this, highlight it, go to the stroke, make it red. And if you want, you can center it while it's highlighted. Use your arrow keys and sort of center it a little bit better. And I don't want it to be sticking out the top, so I'm going to get my eraser tool here, and I don't want it sticking out the top or the bottom. From here, right there, that's frame 3. Click, drag, right click, remove those frames. Let's go back to 100%. And what I want is, on this frame here, insert a keyframe. Using your arrow keys, click and bring that beam up. Until it reaches the top of the page, right there. Right click in here, create a classic tween, and you have that arrow. So now if I hit my enter button, when it's sitting back here, I don't want that to be seen, so I'm going to click on the laser layer and shove it up above the beam. And just test it once more. Good. So select the top layer, insert a layer, select frame 1, open the action panel, stop, S-T-O-P, open, close, semicolon. Now when we start, back on scene 1, and test it, control test movie test. No errors, that's nice. And if I press this, the beam should come out every time. And the left-right laser isn't working yet. I'm back on the actions layer. After these two close curly brackets, a couple enters, and we got to type all this code. The code is actually going to move the laser left and right. Stage, period, add event listener, open bracket, keyboard event, period, key up, comma, keys up, close bracket, semicolon. Up here it was keys down. Now this is when the key's up. This is going to sort of like remove that from happening. Function, keys up, open bracket event, colon, keyboard events, close bracket. These are exactly the same as what's above, except for these function words have changed. Open curly bracket, if open bracket event, key code equals 39, close bracket. That's the right key. When we release it and it goes up, open curly bracket, that variable right is going to be changed to a 0. semicolon. There's the closed curly bracket for that if. Copy that. Copy this. Paste it in. Change this to 37 and change this to left. And make sure we have two closed curly brackets here. Now this is when it's actually down, and we're going to when the keys are down up here, and we made them left and right to 1. This is what's actually going to move the laser. So there's those last two curly brackets we just did. Stage period add event listener, open bracket event period, enter underscore frame, all capital letters, uppercase, comma again, close bracket semicolon, function again, open bracket event, close bracket. Here's the open curly bracket for this function, and eventually it's going to be a closed curly bracket down here. If open bracket right equals 1, close bracket. In other words, we got the right arrow down. Open curly bracket, laser underscore MC period X. Its X coordinate is going to be plus equal 4 semicolon. It's going to move 4 pixels. There's the closed curly bracket for this if. Copy those, paste them in, change the word from right to left, and on this laser line, make it the laser underscore MC period X minus equals 4, so it goes towards the left. And close curly bracket, excuse me, semicolon, and there should be 2 closed curly brackets. And now when we test this, I should be able to move my laser and shoot it. Nice to have no errors, moves, and it shoots. I think that's enough for this tutorial. There's going to be a follow-up, Flash tutorial, Space Attack Part 4. Make sure you save your FLA. I hope you learned something from this tutorial, and I hope you use what you learned.